Don't care.
Shut up. Anyway, hey everybody, welcome back to Unhinged Tech. I almost said welcome to TechOdyssey because I'm so used to saying that at the beginning of my videos. Anyway, welcome to Unhinged Tech, the latest and greatest tech talk show on Wednesday night. It is Wednesday night, right?
Share this. It is, yeah, I believe so. Let me go and share it. I forgot to share it because
go ahead and do that. So we're here, we're live. I do have an update though. Des is not going to be here tonight. He had, like a real life commitment come up today that's more important than these two middle-aged men on YouTube to talk to. So totally understand that. We're still going to do the giveaway here in a little bit. So stay tuned. We'll talk about that here shortly. But thank you for everybody who did enter into the contest. It was lots of fun, lots of good pictures of food. As you can tell, you can't really see anything from here up. But if you look from here down and saw how fat Dan and I are, you would know that we appreciate good food. Yeah, see, Dan likes food. I'm not quite there yet.
I've worked hard for this body.
Maybe when I'm 46, I'll be that fat.
I'm not 46.
45?
I'm not 45.
44.
Thank you.
Okay. I forget.
Uh-huh.
No matter what age you are, you're still fat.
I'm always going to be fat. Fat is the new black. It's in fashion. That's why they call it dad bods. The chicks dig dad bods. That's the way it is.
Well, you tell Leanne and you got all those women you got to fight off when you go off in public.
Let me just tell you, this accent, right? She gets so mad at times. It doesn't. I could look like John Merrick, a bit like you. And as soon as I open my mouth, these little teenage girls flirt away, and she's like, "Die, bitch, die!" in my ear. I'm like, "Chill out, it's okay."
That explains why your YouTube channel is so popular.
That's right. Teenage girls.
Oh, goodness gracious. So, interesting things going on. Of course, as always, Apple made their announcement yesterday that the event is on the 13th.
And it's all about speed because they're going to invent a 5G modem that's going to run on Apple's own 5G that they've made themselves. And they're going to sell you this phone that's the fastest iPhone and best iPhone ever. And it's full of innovation like 5G. Nailed it.
The best iPhone ever.
Best iPhone we have ever made.
I was going back and forth with Joe Hussey, and we're talking about the screens, like the greatest, like the best screen on an iPhone ever. It's like, all right, Tim, we've been using that one for a while now. Let's pull something new out. This is the fastest iPhone ever. With the best screen ever.
Best iPhone.
More battery life than any other iPhone before.
And the camera is the best camera available.
Sorry, we ruined the event. Just watch CNET's rerun and get all the.
Just call me Phil Schiller. I wonder what they're going to come up with this time. Now, last time it was Courage when they took away the headphones jacks. What is their little thing going to be this time when they don't have power?
Courage? I don't know. Yeah, I like how they're doing us a favor by not giving us a power brick.
And that's how they're going to spin it.
We're saving your environment. I'm like, look, I'm not paying you to save my environment. I'm paying you to have a plug so I can charge my stinking phone.
And by buying our iPhone, you are doing your bit to save the environment. That's what it'll be. It'll be some bull crap like that. So
charge me $5 extra and plant a tree.
Bingo.
Like, give me an option.
Much better for the environment.
I'm all about supporting causes. Okay, I'm all about supporting great things. I would be about supporting the environment too, but give me a charger for Pete's sake. I mean, of all the things that you don't include in there, I mean, it's like me going to a dealership and them giving me a car that has no gas.
I don't think you'll be able to see this.
I don't know if I want to see it. What is it?
Well, they're shipping a new one out to me. I'll have to try and take pictures of it.
A new what? It's just rotating all over the place.
The phone. A new phone.
What's wrong with your phone?
The screen is coming away from underneath the black plastic.
Oh, I saw somebody the other day that mentioned theirs looked like it was kind of distorted up there. And I'm like, are we going to have another problem now?
It's coming out.
That's not good. Mine's been okay. But, I mean, I'm sure you fat finger the crap out of it.
I actually use the front screen more than anything else.
I do too. Yeah, I was just thinking about it today, and I opened mine up for something. I was like, wow, this is the first time I've opened up my Fold since like yesterday morning.
Yep, I open it up when I get home, and then if I'm messing with the baby, it stays closed, and then that's it. Yeah, environment.
Don't worry. I'm going to get around to the phone awarding announcement here in a minute. We're just getting things started, letting people show up.
Hi, Georgia.
I'm not an iPhone guy. Did they stop providing that? Yeah.
This time around, supposedly.
This go around, and they're saying that Samsung's going to stop doing it next year because, hey, if Apple found a way to save money, then of course Samsung's going to follow suit. Pretty soon, they're going to sell it to you. You're going to have to. It's going to come with no charge because they're saving the environment on that too. Or it's going. I don't know what next. They're not putting a screen protector. I don't know what the reasoning is for no earbuds because that was one thing really pissed me off.
No earbuds in the Note or the Fold. It's like what? Last year you got Galaxy Buds with it last year, and this year you don't even get a plastic case. What?
Yeah. So I spent $14.49 plus tax on my Z Flip. I spent the $12.99 plus tax on my Note. I spent the $2,000 on the Fold. No case, no earbuds. And then soon next year, there's going to be no power plug. I'm like, come on, guys, shoot.
Yes.
I'm not cool with that. I mean, at least the Note, you could request a set of earbuds from them. But, I mean, they didn't.
Not officially, though.
That. Yeah,
it's not
reach out and ask. That was not like, here's, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Samsung guy working on a transparent phone. So, yeah,
You would be surprised how much hazardous stuff is actually in your phone. A lot of the stuff used to make semiconductors and all these transistors and the boards and the screens, they use a lot of what's called rare earth metals. And what's funny, 90% of the Earth's rare earth metals are in China, which is why they have
the monopoly on it.
That's why everything comes from there, and they actually control the price. It's kind of like OPEC with oil before the United States became energy independent and started producing more oil than we needed. We were at the mercy of when OPEC charged prices. There was a while there where they were having an issue with the rare earth metals years ago, and that actually, from what I know, offset and increased the price of phones. I think it was around the iPhone 6.
Yeah.
But yeah, most of 90% of the rare earth metals, but the thing is, it's probably, I mean, I hate saying this. I don't even want to say this, but it's probably best they're China because if it were the United States, there would be so much red tape around mining these things that they would be 1,000 times more.
It'd never get done. Yeah, it'd never get done.
Because they're actually hazardous. So
yeah.
They probably pay somebody $5 an hour to go dig these things out of the dirt. But either way, there's a lot of rare earth metals. Yeah, there's a lot of rare earth metals in computer stuff and in phones. Yeah, we're here. Of course, we're here. Where else would I be on Wednesday night? You think I have a life?
That guy's using a Pixel 4 XL. I can just tell you that right now.
Wonder where you got that from.
No idea, but it's in beautiful condition. It's got a tempered screen on it. It just looks like
it's got a tattoo on its lower IMEI area.
And I said to him, just let me tell you, I can't say what I'm going to say because this is the G-rated night.
It is.
But I told him a part of my body was going to be rubbed all over it before I sent it to him. So I hope he's enjoying that part of it.
Probably your fat face.
No. Much further south.
We're going to move well beyond this and focus on something positive. So.
Oh, look. It's 3 years. I mean, Joe Hussey.
It's all right. He'll make another video one day.
That's right. Yes.
I have faith in Joe. I like those videos, though. They're great. Sure. They're really, really good to listen to in my earbuds when I want to go to sleep. Let me try and find this tweet for the. I gotta pull up the winning entry.
We've looked through this, and let me tell you, some of this stuff looks good.
Oh my gosh! And on top of that, I had to look through all of it, and then I had to cross-check stuff because some people, as excited as they were to, post their pictures of food, maybe they just didn't want to enter, or they wanted to enter and then didn't go hit the subscribe button, or they didn't retweet it, or they forgot a hashtag. There was a lot of really good pictures of food, though, I gotta say. And like I said, we both really like food, and I wish Des was going to be here tonight. So he's the one that's giving this away and shipping it out. So after the show's over, make sure I can contact you on Twitter. So have your DMs open, or if you're following me, I guess I can message you that way. But We'll reach out. We'll reach out to the winner so that we can get your information so that Des can mail it out. But really cool of him. And it was just by happenstance that he even came on the show last week. Like, it was not a pre-planned thing. It was like a couple hours before showtime, and he's like, "Hey, we should talk about it tonight." Or no, it was the day before. He said, "Hey, we should talk about this tomorrow," or whatever it was. I'm like, "Heck yeah, great! You can come back on again. It'll be a good time." So he reached out to us, and then we're just sitting there talking about food and tech and everything else. And he's like, "Hey, we're going to go ahead and give away an LG Velvet in this executive package." And I'm not exactly sure what all comes in the executive package. That was new.
Phones, T-shirt, hat, things like that, I believe.
And that's cool because not only do you get a phone, but you get some nice swag to go along with it too.
I found a hair. Well, it can't have been mine. All right, it cannot have been my hair. All right, see, thank you. God. Oh, hey, let me just say it matches. All right, so it wasn't mine. Anyway,
all right.
What is Dan streaming? I am stream last week. I think was it your first time last week? Because normally I stream off my Sony actual DLSR camera. Last week I had issues because my computer broke down.
Bad.
Huh?
Last week was bad.
Yeah. My computer broke down and I ended up having an old junker, the one that you can see behind me there. It's a 7-year-old piece of crap. And it wouldn't run with this camera, so I had to use an LG webcam. But now I'm on a decent computer and it runs my camera. That's why I look great. And the gypsy next to me looks horrendous.
Oh,
speak, Bridgeweller. Yeah. Bridge dweller.
You don't know what to do if I don't talk for 5 seconds?
I'm lost because I'm going to tell you off. I am so lost when you don't speak. It's like, because I have to fight to get a word in edgeways. So
it's like
when it's dead air, it's like, what's going on here?
All right. Let's see if I can figure out how to do this. Share screen, Chrome tab, TechOdyssey. All right. Can you see that?
Yeah, that picture there.
Oh. So this picture right here belongs to a gentleman by the name of Rob who entered the contest, and also he followed all the instructions. And this right here, I saw this. I'm like, you know what?
I'm just hungry.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hungry. I'm gonna have my steak, tips, and rice for dinner. But this one really stuck out with me because it's been so long since I've had any of this kind of food. I've been stuck at home for so long, so it's like we'll pick up things. And this right here, I was like, man, I need to put my N95 mask and go down to the local eatery and get some. So
that looks amazing.
Ramen. So Rob, you win, and I'll get a hold of you later on Twitter. Of course, we were actually
LG Velvet on its way.
Yeah. So I'll get your information. And I'll get with Des so we can get that sent out, and we'll go from there. But for everybody who participated in the contest, thank you so much. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. It was great looking at all those pictures of food, and it was cool that we could do this. And I'm sure we'll do something else later on down the road because Dan and I always have stuff that we need to get rid of. So
lots of things. So I'm planning. Audio. I definitely will have audio to give away. Probably next month, so yeah, keep your eyes open.
Yeah, if people are not opposed to a pair of earbuds that I've tested out and reviewed, I've got like 20 pair of earbuds sitting around. It'll be earbud Christmas. Sometimes I ask, and I'll ask for a second pair so I can do a giveaway with them. So maybe I'll do that again next time somebody reaches out. And I did that with Jabra before, and I did that with another company before. So yeah, maybe going to the holidays, we'll try and do some more giveaway stuff. But I got to say one thing, though. So I got
what's wrong with the screen? You made it different.
There we go. So I got sent out some stuff from Turtle Beach and Rocket, and I did something that I've never done before. I asked a question because my kids, you got kids that game. They love Turtle Beach. They love Rocket. They love all these video game things. It's like, hey, I need a new headset for my Xbox or the PC or whatever. So I walk in, I'm like, just so you know, kids, your dad's working with Rocket and Turtle Beach now. And they're like, no way. Oh, my God. Oh, awesome. So
my God.
I reached out to the guy. And I was like, hey, my kids love you guys. Like, do you have any, like, keychains or I don't know, just something, some little thing I can, give my kids because they love Turtle Beach stuff. So he's like, yeah, I'll see what kind of swag we have around. I thought maybe like a bookmark or a sticker or a keychain, just something, a coaster. They sent me out four Turtle Beach shirts. Nice. Like 2 short sleeve and 2 long sleeve. So I just gave them to my kids, and they're actually really, really nice, like crazy good material, really nice. So my kids were like beyond static, and they're all running around wearing these Turtle Beach shirts. But he didn't tell me what to send it out. He said, yeah, I'll just look and see what I can find. And then this box shows up, and it was 4 Turtle Beach shirts. So, I know they're not watching this, but that was super cool, and big thank you to them.
Yeah.
And then I'll have that stuff coming out soon, which I've been testing these out, and the 7.1s are the 700 series Turtle Beach headset is crazy nice. And then I've got this Rocket new ELO series 7.1 Air headset that I've been using for gaming.
They're sending me that.
Oh my gosh, dude.
And the keyboard.
It is going to blow your mind. For $100, it's lightweight. And, that's one of the problems with the Turtle Beach. As much as I love it, it's heavy to wear it for a long period of time. So this Rocket ELO Air 7.1, I wear it all day while I make my phone calls for work. I listen to music while I'm working, and then I use it for, gaming and stuff. Totally love it. So,
well, Georgia, what I might do near Christmas is I might do a Turtle Beach giveaway. That'd be probably quite a good one to do. Turtle Beach, something to do with those, a headset, something like that. I will go and get one with a wife's discount.
Do you want to adopt me? No, I have 6 kids already. Would you like to adopt one of my children?
And I don't want you. I have 4, but 3 of mine are all over 20, and then one of them's 22 months old.
Can you claim yourself on your taxes as a child if you're 44 years old and you act like a kid?
Sadly not, because I earn more than $4,000 a year.
Zero complaints.
Otherwise,
you should let Leanne do the taxes and claim you. Bender, glad to have you here. Thanks a lot. Yeah, so it's been nice. It seems like Twitter and Periscope is not
getting a drink.
Is not that amazing when it comes to the streaming stuff. It seems like if you come to YouTube, you get a better experience overall. But with Twitter, it gives us another outlet. Like I'm glad that while I'm doing this, that it can stream on both platforms. So that's cool. Well, one day if I ever make it up to Michigan, then I'll bring the kids in tow and they can run around the street with fireworks and stuff like that. But I need to make it up there one day. I've never been to Michigan before. I was looking, I can talk freely on here because my wife doesn't want.
You're not missing anything with Michigan. I spent 2 weeks in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Well, I live in Ohio. I mean, come on. I really have nothing to.
Yeah, you have no taste. I've been trying to figure out what to do. So my wife and my 8-year anniversary is it's in 2 weeks from now. It's on the 20th. And I've been trying to figure out what to do. And I was going to say I can talk about it freely here because my wife doesn't watch my videos. So no heartburn there. I could say what I'm going to buy her. I could say where we're going to go. I could tell her what we're going to have for dinner. She would not see this right now. So don't tag her.
But I am following her and she follows me on Twitter.
Well,
I don't want to hear it. You better behave from now on.
That's okay. Leanne tagged me yesterday, something about me and you sexting. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, because she has stalker mode on. Like when I put something on Facebook, her phone goes off. Bing! Because I posted something.
Oh, no, my wife doesn't do that. She's just getting into Twitter now. And, I know when she's home, she doesn't use, her phone or social media while she's at work. And then when she gets home, it's it starts blowing up with all of her notifications because she'll comment or reply to my stuff that's on there. So I was looking at plane stuff, and I was trying to figure out where we could go. And I thought, maybe we could go to Vegas for 2 days and I could get a nice hotel. We go eat somewhere nice.
Not happening, bro.
For what reason? I talk about it was crazy expensive.
And it's COVID as well. It's crazy COVID over in Vegas, isn't it, from what I'm hearing? They closed it down? Oh, they think they're closing it down again?
They're going to a casino floor. They just have really nice hotels there. Oh. So I'm not going to go to a show or casino floor, any of that crazy stuff. Right. But they've got really nice restaurants out there, and they've got really nice hotels. We don't have that here. It's like, hey, baby, let's spend our 8-year anniversary. We'll go pick up some Taco Bell. Because we're not going to have any kids for the first time in 8 months.
What's wrong with that? going out to Taco Bell. Red Lobster. There you go. That's a little bit more fancy than Taco Bell. Red Lobster and Best Buy.
And the biscuits.
The biscuits. They make my nipples twitch.
You know,
I love the biscuits.
I'll be like, you know what, honey? I didn't want to give you your present early, but here you go. It's a basket of bread. Anyway,
but it's the best.
Oh, it's so good. I'll eat like 6 biscuits and then not eat the lobster or the shrimp.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so let's talk about actual tech stuff. So Pixel 5.
I got these today. Just to show you. Have you seen these? Did you get these offered to you?
I can't read what it is, dude. Yeah. There you go. Those guys asked me if I wanted to review their stuff, and I didn't reply to them.
I just out of interest said yes, and then these horrible looking AirPod things came. So
they look like they're okay. I just don't have room on my schedule for another $30-$40 pair of earbuds right now. So yeah. I just got those
Pixel 5.
I got those Tron Smart Apollos. Yeah. I have my review coming out on those soon. I kind of like those. But so as far as the tech world goes, the 2 big things coming up this next week are we've got the Pixel, and I can't remember what day does that come out? The 16th?
29th.
Is it? Oh, man, it's that long? I thought it was sooner than that.
No, 29th.
Is the Pixel 4a 5G coming out the same day?
No, that's a waiting list.
Wow, that's crazy. So, yeah, we still got a while on that. But on the 13th, we have the Apple event. So all the people that were disappointed, that they didn't announce them with the iPads and all that stuff like 2 weeks ago, having a dedicated event on October the 13th. And then it's probably going to be like a week or 2 before the phones end up in people's hands.
Yeah, they do the show. Then the following week, 7 days goes by, you pre-order, and then 7 days, they're in your hands.
That really irks me. Like, I like how Samsung does it. As soon as the thing is over, you can pre-order. Or Google. As soon as the Pixel event was over, pre-order. Apple, no. You got to wait several days to a week. And then, it used to be at like 2 a.m. or midnight or something crazy like that. It's like
still is 3 o'clock if you're on the East Coast, 3 a.m.
I thought they changed it with this last go around. I thought
nope.
No, with the SE it was in the morning time. With the SE, it was like
the iPhone 11 was 12:01 Pacific.
Yeah, so that's gonna drive me crazy. Like it'll be like 1 o'clock in the morning, midnight here for me, and like you said, over on the East Coast, it'll be late. So it's ridiculous that you got to wait like a week before you can do this. And then you got to stay up all night so you can do it. And then you still got to wait like a week before the thing even shows up. And I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people who are not going to get theirs on the day that it comes out, just like the Apple Watches. I ordered this. It said that I was going to get it on the 18th, like I was supposed to the day it came out. And it ended up being like 8 or 9 days later. And I ordered right after the event. So there were people that ordered like an hour or 2 after it came out, waiting into October to get a watch. So I did the other thing. I just went down to Best Buy and I got one the next day because they had some. So it wasn't that big of a deal because I got one for me and one for my wife. But that's just a precursor. And if you looked around, a lot of other devices are having issues too, especially with quantity. I'm sure it's still, the supply chain is still suffering. This got pushed back. And you know how it was prior to 2020. The T-Mobile store down the street from your house is going to get probably 3. And, there's 5 different models this time, 4 or 5 different models. So I fully anticipate that there's going to be a lot of broken hearts. And it's not like you can go wait in line. Shoot, if everybody maintains a 6-foot distance, that line's going to be like 1.4 miles long. So this is going to be like the first Apple launch where you can't go wait in line to make sure that you get one. You may or may not have luck going to the store, and I think ordering it online, you're probably not going to get it on launch day. So it's going to make it a really frustrating couple of weeks, especially if you really want one of these phones. And this is just my speculation, but looking at Samsung, looking at all these other manufacturers, looking at how long it's taking Google to get the phones out since their announcement, I think that we're going to run into the same issues with the iPhone. And for people who really love iPhone, if I were a big iPhone fan, it would frustrate me.
I think everybody now needs to order online. I purposely think they don't cater to stores because nowadays you can get the phone not the same day, but the day of release if you do order it online. I know if they've got more than, how many? There's 4 Did you say 4 models?
It's 4 or 5. I think I know. Isn't there 5 models? There's the Mini, then there's the 12, there's the 12 Max, and then there's the 12 Pro and the 12 Pro Max. So there's 5 models.
So I think they will have enough phones for everybody. I really do. Because there's that much of a spread. Because a lot of people are going to want that Mini. I think the Mini's the one that's going to be hard to get hold of. That's the one that you're not going to be able to get.
So this right here, I walked into Sprint launch day and got one. That's the thing with Sprint, though. You could always get one with Sprint. Like, I had T-Mobile and Sprint concurrently. I even tried before to go to, like, Verizon to get one. You can't find one at, like, AT&T or maybe T-Mobile. You could always walk into a Sprint store, and I went in there at, like, 9 o'clock at night one time right before they got ready to close. It was, like, 8:58. My brother wanted one, and there were still plenty available. So Sprint has never been a problem, but now Sprint's part of T-Mobile. But even with T-Mobile, I was very frustrated because you remember Dez was on the show a couple of weeks ago prior to the fold. He said you can go right into T-Mobile and get one on day one. I called like 15 T-Mobiles all over Houston, and for the first 2 or 3 days could not find one. And this is Houston. I called the #1 volume store in my area. I called the #1 volume store in other areas. I went to all these different places, and I couldn't get one, which is, I had to wait a little while. But that's fine. I didn't really buy it to be a day one review device. I got it just because I wanted it. Because I'm an addict, and it was driving me crazy not having one. So I went ahead and I got one. And I like it a lot. Of course, I made some videos on it since then because it would be stupid to get a $2,000 phone and not make a video about it. But yeah, I think it's going to be frustrating. And I hope that Mini is not in short supply because that's the one that I want. Like, I'm going to get the Mini, and I'm going to get.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm going to get
a lot of people want it.
I like the smaller form factor. Mm-hmm. I like the SE. I like the iPhone 8. I like smaller iPhones, and I really hope to be able to get my hands on one. And I don't get the really large ones. They hurt my hand. Like, they're so heavy because iPhones are like super dense, and those suckers, they just like rest right here. I think I got a permanent indentation in my pinky, but I was having like tons of joint pain right here in my hand and in my pinky. And I put 2 and 2 together after a while and realized it was the iPhone in the case that I was using. So surprisingly, though, my wife loves it. I gave her the iPhone 11 Pro Max to test it. She's like, hey.
I was waiting for that, Ed. Ed, I was dying to say that, but I thought I won't. And I'm happy you got in there and said that's what she said.
It was in my mind. Like, I was going to make a comment about how she likes large things. Like large phone, large phone case, whatever, large computer. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with the phone. I wasn't using the iPhone, and I kind of wanted her to move over to iPhone because she always complained about her Samsung phone, and she wanted a watch, and she always complained about her watch. I'm like, look, honey, if you get an iPhone and you get an Apple Watch, and you get the iPad, you can have all this stuff, and life will be good. And then you don't have to worry about these little complaints anymore. So I let her test out the Pro Max for like a day, and that sucker was gone. Like, I was never getting it back. Like, the next day, I was like, so, honey, you like the phone? She's like, what? Well, are you talking to me? I'm busy playing on the phone. Mm-hmm. So she is 100% sold on iPhone now. And, of course, she has her Tesla now. So now she's a Tesla and an iPhone girl. What are you doing over there?
You can see a couple of people are saying how T-Mobile's gone to trash in certain areas since the merger with Sprint. And I'm just getting my information right because I can tell them the reason why.
Well, it has to do with the network. I think it has to do, with the network, doesn't it?
Well, what's happening is they're doing a network upgrade. It's going to be a 40 billion upgrade, and they're making it so a lot more users can use one tower, but you're going to get much more speed out of it. So while they're doing that, the quality of service is going to be lower, but it shouldn't take so long. I think it's something to do with the 2.5 gig spectrum. I was trying to look it up there.
It has to do with you go ahead.
The 2.5 gigahertz or something like that. A lot of people are going to start to be able to use that, multiple users, and it's going to be a lot faster than the sub 600 that we get now on 5G with T-Mobile. But while they're doing that, the service in certain areas is going to drop while they upgrade it. I know we're getting the upgrade soon, and our service has already dropped back a bit. So,
well, the other thing too, some people coming over from Sprint, if they kept the Sprint phone and came over to T-Mobile, they shut off the 5G that Sprint was using for certain phones. Yes. So that may have impacted some of that. And then yes, so they're expanding that spectrum, making it more available. But I think there's something, if I read it properly, that it's going to allow for like tandem use of both signals. Like it'll use the 600 and the
2.5 gig rollout, and it'll be a multi-year project. Yeah.
So this is a way
doing upgrades on 700 sites a week.
So they can't get millimeter wave anywhere outside of major built-up areas because it essentially goes like 100 feet and then it starts to die off. Like it's 100 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
millimeter wave. Yeah, 100, 150
wave
mil.
is super powerful, but you got to be really
and nothing blocking it. You can't have a brick. If you're on the other side of a brick wall, I believe it really degrades the service. So.
Yeah. So millimeter wave is great if you live in downtown New York City or if you live in Chicago, and there are certain areas where it's deployed. But if you live anywhere outside of where there are built-up buildings, you're not going to get millimeter wave. It just doesn't travel that far enough. They'd have to put a tower on every light pole, and it's just not feasible. So this is like a hybrid construct where they're using the 600 and this 2.5G, and it's going to give you an enhanced signal and connection and speed, but it's not millimeter wave. It's completely different.
David, that's fake news. So any SIM card after 2015 is upgradable, and they will work just fine. You don't have to have an R15 SIM card to use the new 5G. It's just if you've got a SIM card pre-2015, you need a new SIM card.
Yeah, and that's just that allows it to connect to the network, but doesn't give you the 5G. That's your antenna. Your antenna is built into your system on a chip. So your
radio.
Yeah, the SIM card just dictates and opens the connectivity. It doesn't give you the connection. It allows you to connect. It tells it where to connect to. It's like telling if you had a dish network and you had a dish in your backyard. It's like telling it where to point and giving it the authentication so it can communicate on the network.
Pre-2015 SIM cards couldn't be upgraded. You don't even know it's happening. It just happens. So, and then, well, go ahead. You were going to say something.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I've been using the same SIM card for like 3 or 4 years. I just keep putting it in new phones. And this one was well before 5G came out.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. That's the same with me, with my T-Mobile. In fact, I used the R15 that came with the Note this time because I thought that as well. I thought the R15 was going to be better, and then I did some reading, and no, it's not.
Hey, but welcome, Coach.
What are your thoughts on when consumers should actually make sure their device has 5G?
I want to answer this real quick. So, I don't think fake news is the appropriate terminology. There are people that need to upgrade them for sure, especially if you're having connectivity issues, things like that, connecting to the network, because that is your key card to get access. But it is important as you're getting a new phone. Yes, just go ahead and get the new SIM card. If you've got an older one and you're having problems, if you're not having any problems though, then you don't need to go get a new SIM card. As long as you've got a phone that's within the last couple of years, you should be fine. I've seen a lot of stuff about this, but maybe 6 in one hand, half dozen the other. I don't know, but there is something to it. Otherwise, they wouldn't be telling people. But it's not as big of a deal as you might think.
Yeah, it's definitely anything after 2015 SIM card wise is upgradable. And when you get a new phone, like Adam just said, then you get a SIM card in there anyway. So just use it. If you're worried, just put it in there. But if your SIM card, say your SIM card's from 2016, you've been using it for the last 4 years, don't worry about it. No sweat. It's fine. What's up, Chad? And then, Ed, to answer your question, consumers should make sure that their device has 5G. I don't think it matters for a while, a couple of years.
I think it does. And
really? I thought that was voice over LTE.
Yes, but voice over LTE means that 4G, 3G, and 2G are effectively going to go away. Your phone's going to have to use LTE.
I thought that was just 2G and 3G.
I believe regular 4G too. I think LTE is going to be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, HSPA plus or whatever it was called is going to go away. Yeah, but actual 4G LTE.
No, 4G LTE.
That's where you. But the voice over LTE will be fine.
Those lower frequencies and bands need to be freed up, and they need to be reprioritized because they've been used for a long time for low band frequencies, so they can travel distance. But because the networks are so massive now, and they're starting to deploy in other areas, and that's one reason T-Mobile is bringing this stuff online so quickly. Is that they want to try and make sure everything's good, because come January 1st, if your phone relies on 2G, 3G, or the regular 4G HSPA, not full LTE, it won't work anymore on T-Mobile. And then another year or two after that, AT&T is going to do the same. Verizon is going to hold on as long as they can because that's the bread and butter for people out in the middle of nowhere or people who can't get connections in areas that a lot of other carriers can. They're going to hold on to that for forever. So whenever it comes to T-Mobile, and this is a good thing. I mean, we're getting better connectivity. We're getting faster internet. We're getting to the point now where phone network speeds are a lot faster than most people's home internet. But you got to have the underlying infrastructure. And it's actually funny because the other carriers, I believe they're doing some sort of a lawsuit against T-Mobile because they got too much. So here's the thing. 600 megahertz spectrum got opened up and deprioritized, deregulated so that it could be repurposed for 5G and extended 5G. So there was an auction for this back in 2016. T-Mobile went in and bought half of it.
Because Verizon were not invited.
On top of it, Verizon didn't care as much because Verizon already had all the other. And that was a problem. As good as T-Mobile was getting, they were a newer carrier, and AT&T and Verizon had a lockdown on the spectrum that was available. See, all these radio waves going out everywhere that allow you to connect your phone and allow for services to provide you service are owned by companies. And AT&T and Verizon own the majority of it. So whenever T-Mobile came on board and they saw this opening for the expansion into the 600 megahertz spectrum, they went out and they bought up half of it at basically the auction. They got half of all 600 megahertz spectrum, which is amazing because this is now going to give them a leg up. And then they also got some of the other stuff that belonged to Sprint. So this was actually a huge deal. Yes, Sprint and T-Mobile together are number 3 in the phone carrier business, but in another year or two,
they're number one, aren't they, right now when it comes to 5G coverage across the country? So
exactly.
It's amazing how the tables have turned, and now Verizon and AT&T are the crybabies, and it's no longer fair because they've no longer got the monopoly. It's just funny how things
fair when they had it. It was fair when they had it.
It was perfectly fine then. Yeah, exactly.
And that's how it is. And that's just one of the reasons why you're having all these network refreshes, because they're clearing out the 2G and the 3G.
Yep.
And then they'll reprioritize that for something else. I don't know what kind of data those are capable of supporting because I don't think it's a lot. It's been used. But the funny thing is a lot of people are like, 5G and all these different frequencies going everywhere. Just so you know, they've been around for forever. They used to be TV frequencies.
TV. Yeah.
So
old days TV signal.
Everybody was like, this stuff is so hazardous for you. I'm like, nah, bro, that stuff was putting out Gilligan's Island in the 70s. You're good. It's just carrying phone networks and phone signal now. And that's why this has all been a big plan. This wasn't like, hey, we're going to create 5G. It was already there, but it was being used by other stuff. But what you don't know, when you get these streams of information that interact with each other, it messes it up. So that they have prioritized frequencies, that prioritized wavelengths that transmit certain types of information. So it used to be TV signals, radio signals. That's why they went from analog to digital, because there's analog signals and there's digital signals. So I'm not going to get all in the weeds on this stuff, but this is good. It's purposing and reprioritizing it so we can use it for a useful purpose now. And it's not dangerous. It's been around for forever.
Yep.
You're good.
It's not giving you COVID. Don't worry.
Yeah. I have a question here, and actually Sam commented earlier. So I do have my Surface Duo right here. I installed the update when I was getting off work earlier, so I'll be playing with it later. There was like 120, 130 megabyte system update that came out. I'm sure it's mostly security patch, but I haven't messed with it yet. I think he's asking because I had my Duo review that came out. I did it last night. I'd already made it, so we'll see what changes. I still stand by all the things I said about it. I don't recommend this phone for 95% of people, but it is good, and I hope that this does improve some of the system stuff to make it more efficient and work better.
Chad, now that there, what you're saying about 600 being good, yes, it will penetrate all walls. I remember, like you, I lived in Florida back in end of 2012, 2013, and T-Mobile, because I was on the beach, and you live in Florida, so you probably had the same thing. You could not get signal anywhere near water with T-Mobile at one time. As recent as 7 years ago, it was horrendous. For anytime you was near the ocean, forget it. Pensacola Beach, forget it. The only thing that worked good out there was Verizon and Sprint. Sprint, what the hell?
That surprised me, though. I went to Alaska back in 2004, and back then I had AT&T, and in the middle of interior Alaska, my AT&T didn't work. You had to have Verizon or Sprint. Sprint had really good legacy coverage. Like Sprint and Verizon were the ones when it came to having that really good 2G, 3G coverage everywhere. And that's why they said that they covered the most people for forever and ever and ever and stuck by that. That's because it was true. But a lot of those low band frequencies travel really far. So when you talk about AT&T coming online, AT&T got big around 3G and 4G. They didn't have all that 2G that Verizon and Sprint did. And then when you get to 4G, that's when T-Mobile came around. So T-Mobile has always relied primarily on an LTE connection with an underlying 3G, 4G for phone calls. Yep. Now that's going away. It's going to be LTE and 5G moving forward, and then that'll be good. So, and then they should be the industry leading standard. They'll pass them up. I mean, yes, Verizon and AT&T, I think, have been behind in fully developing their network for all the 5G stuff, whereas T-Mobile kind of had to. And that's why last year the big thing was, does it have band 71? Does it have band 71? There was a lot of concern around that, and the S10 was the first phone that Samsung put out that supported it, because band 71 is a 600 megahertz spectrum. So that's what they were deploying. Like the big push was to deploy this new 600 megahertz spectrum all over the US, and it's been expanding over the last 2 years. But that's why it was really important last year to make sure you had a phone that supported band 71. So there you go.
Which is going to be a major problem for import phones coming up soon.
It is.
Because most phones from China don't have band 71.
And they also won't work, even though they may support voice over LTE. If you don't have a phone that supports voice over LTE on these networks, it won't work. And that's a problem that I have going forward with a lot of my older BlackBerries that don't have. They may have LTE, but they don't have voice over LTE. And if your phone doesn't have voice over LTE, January 1 or early January, it will no longer work on T-Mobile. And it's kind of been that way for a little bit with AT&T, except not. It's a little bit different. Like AT&T has to allow your phone to operate with voice over LTE on their network. It has to be one of the phones that they basically carry or support. You can't just bring any phone that supports voice over LTE. T-Mobile, you can bring any phone that supports voice over LTE, and as long as it does, then it should work. But yeah, like I've been playing with my BlackBerry Q10 since yesterday, so it's one of those things that's a little frustrating because sometimes I like to pop my SIM card in these older phones and use them, and that's going to be a problem moving forward. And here real quick, Dom, you might not be able to find us. I put out an announcement after the show.
I'm putting another link out now.
We have a dedicated channel for Unhinged Tech now. So for the longest time, we used my channel, and it was the Unhinged Tech show, but it was on the backbone of my YouTube channel. And now we have the dedicated channel for Unhinged Tech. So we will be making a Unhinged Tech Twitter as well. That'll be coming later, but it'll all coincide. I made the banner for it. I'm working on making logo and all this other stuff, but we're going to push this moving forward for Unhinged Tech, try and make it its own entity and not necessarily part of my channel. This is a Dan and I thing, and we've been doing this for a while now, and it was just a natural progression. We've been talking about it for a long time. It's not something that we're like, hey, we should just do this, and the next week we had a channel. We talked about this. We bounced it around for probably about 5 or 6 months before we even started the Unhinged Tech show. And then we started the show, and then this is just part of the process and going along with it. So yes, dedicated YouTube channel. We're going to have other dedicated stuff in the space as well. So it's going to be cool. Maybe one day when we have like 10,000 subscribers, we'll get merch or something, but not really worried about that right now. It's just that, we love to do this show on Wednesday night, and we want to grow this. It's nice having live stream stuff on like our separate YouTube channel, but it kind of convolutes things a little bit when it's like, here, I've got 4 reviews, and okay, here's Unhinged Tech TV show popping up in the middle of it, but it's like, it's me and Dan. So people are like, who's this guy? Or why? I thought this was your review channel. And then this just gives it, I think it makes it better, and it'll be better moving forward. And it doesn't seem like it's hurt that much. We did the contest, got some people over here, initial subscribers. It'll grow as we continue to host our stuff here. And it shouldn't be. It should only be on Unhinged Tech, and then it's streaming on my Twitter. I am going to try and get Dan's Twitter on here as well. I don't know if it's going to let me. I don't know if it'll let me have 2 Twitter accounts, but I pay for the
Maybe not.
I pay for the expanded service with StreamYard so we can do this. But the end goal, we're going to eventually migrate away from StreamYard and use OBS so we can stream anywhere directly, and then we'll be able to do it, 4K one day. It's all part of a growing process. I mean, I got to manage my channel. He has to manage his channel. We both make content. This is, it's a separate thing. So it's not like I'm coming in here talking about the videos that I made. We're not talking. I mean, this is just a joint venture that we do together, and we'll continue to grow it.
Pixel Buds, yes or no? I've not tried the new ones, but the original ones were absolute garbage town.
I heard the new ones are okay. I get so many. Here's my thing. I don't get a lot of the higher end earbuds or the name. Like, I really want to try a pair of Surface Buds, but I'm not paying like $200 for them. I would like to try Pixel Buds, but I'm not going to pay for those. I have so many that I can get them for. I have so many that I review. Like, I've got Jabras. I'm fixing to get a pair of Jabra 85Hs or 85Ts, which is going to be really nice. But I work with a lot of companies, and I have a lot of earbuds to review. I enjoy reviewing them, but I'm not going out of my way to pay $150, $200 for earbuds when I've got like 20 pair of earbuds sitting around already. And then the other thing too is it frustrates me because I review stuff all the time. Anytime I review something that finds its way into my regular toolkit of things, it takes my time away from using a product that I want to use. So like the last week I was saying I wanted to put my SIM card back in my Z Flip. Well, I have my SIM card in the Xiaomi Poco X3. So I have 2 phones all the time. Hey, later, Chad. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it.
Bye, Chad.
So, I don't necessarily want to go buy an expensive pair of earbuds that routinely is going to be sitting on my dresser while I'm having to review other stuff.
Wow. So this is another reason why I will not get the Microsoft Surface Buds. You'd think a company like that who's struggling to get into the audio side of it, you'd think that they'd give out discounts like everybody else does on Best Buy when they work there. No discounts. Don't get them any cheaper. They are $199 regardless.
Well, Apple doesn't give you discounts either, do they?
No, but Apple's a totally different beast to Microsoft when it comes to stereo, audio, mobile. So.
Thanks a lot, Chad. Yeah, and if you get a chance, anybody else who's here, if you do want to share our stuff on Twitter, let everybody know we have a dedicated channel. So I probably need to be a little bit more vocal about that. I made the tweet, we did the contest. We're going to continue doing this moving forward, but I think a lot of people just don't know that we created a dedicated channel. Like, there's a lot of people that have subscribed to it, but there's a lot of people that I know normally would subscribe to it, and I just don't think we've been active enough in saying, hey guys, look, we got this new channel.
Yeah, people are just used to us popping on and they'll see you come on and that's it. And now, like Don says, he didn't see you come on, so didn't know. Well, whatever, it'll happen, it'll build. I'm not worried about it.
What's going on here?
Why?
Are you sharing screen?
No.
What is going on?
Why? What's up?
Oh no! It's all of a sudden out of nowhere, my email popped up and it like squished the whole screen over. I was trying to figure out what's going on. I was like, "What is going on here?" It's magic.
You're right, Joe. They do not. They are a software-first company. I don't know why they bother with these Surface Buds. I don't know. I honestly don't know why they bothered with the Duo. To be totally honest, I just don't get it. They should have stayed on the enterprise side of things. I know it's.
If they can make it work, I think that it's going to be good. Like, they did this just to get in the space. They did not do this to try and convince people to move over. This was a total, we're going to get into this space kind of thing. So I expect Gen 2, Gen 3 to be significantly improved, because I think that this doesn't match the reality of the concept they had for trying to put this out for people to buy.
Mm-hmm. Thanks for that, Dom. You're a special kind of guy.
Yeah, I know. I really hate retweeting his stuff. I used to say things all the time, and it's got to the point where I can't even waste my breath. I'm
loved and I'm adored. It's just the way it is, and you're jealous.
Trash panda of tech.
At least I don't look homeless.
I look less homeless. I cut off like half.
Just tell you, whoa. That photo you put up of you and your wife today. I really like this photo. This photo looked. I really like the way it came out. You were wearing your white Victoria's Secret shirt.
I was getting on a plane with no air conditioning. What do you want for
I
the
don't
suit?
care. Huh? I really like. I love this picture with me and my wife. Get out.
What is that?
Get out.
Tattoo you have?
Huh? What? My tattoo?
Your
nipple cover
tattoo. Oh, right. Okay, put that down. You're gonna. Nobody wants to see this. I mean, we're not getting monetized. I mean, we don't have 1,000 subscribers.
I have all types of tattoos. See, there's my ex-wife.
Interesting. I don't have any tattoos. Yeah, I made it through my entire.
My son, my daughter, my twin boys.
I made it through my entire 16-and-a-half-year military career and never picked up cursing, and I didn't get any tattoos.
And I went totally the opposite way. And if I could, I'd be tattooed from here down.
According to you, I look less. I mean, I do look less homeless than usual. I was a little offended though. Yeah, my wife came home and I thought, you know what, I'll trim this up a little bit. I'll make myself look a little bit more presentable. Don't even pay attention.
Better. It does look better.
Yeah, I was starting to get comments on my videos like, you know, messy rat's nest, all sorts of things. I'm like, you know what, this is just not. Yeah, it was like down to like here. I mean, it was pretty long, but the problem is my hair is not straight and it's not like ultra thick.
That's what happens to mine.
So
one side grows more than the other.
Mm-hmm. And then it kind of like curls in. It doesn't go straight. Like it does not go out. It just whatever. I tried beard oil. I tried freaking comb and straightener, all sorts of things. It doesn't work out. I thought about shaving the whole thing off. I mean, I've had facial hair ever since I got out of the military. Coming on what? 3 years now? December 29th will be 3 years since I retired. So.
Good joke. About 27 years. You know, I'm also about 20. When I was 15 when I had my first tattoo. So 29 years for me since that bulldog on my arm then is 29 years old.
You know the funniest tattoo that I ever saw?
Dude, mine is not done by a dude in the basement. If you want to see basement tattoos, I'll go and get my wife. All right? She's got prison tattoos, and she's never been to prison. All right?
No, she's gonna If Dan's not on the show next week, then you know what happened. Leanne killed him for making fun of her tattoos.
If she was in the bedroom, no, she knows. She won't even get them out. I'm like, show everybody your broken flower. And she's like,
well, no. So you remember whenever Halo 3 was going to come out, and then it was like got pushed back like 6 months, and it got pushed back like another 6 months, and then the Microsoft guy that was in charge of the Halo or the games or whatever, he went and got the Halo date tattooed on his arm, and I think did it come out on time?
No, it got delayed, didn't it?
I think that it went past the date, but I remember it was such a long running thing with people because I pre-ordered that game like December of like 2005 or something like that, and I think it finally came out in like 2007, or it was like crazy forever long.
Mm-hmm. Yep. People making fun of my tattoos.
Everybody has tattoos for different.
My tattoos are my children's names. My twin boys are on my forearms. My daughter, my new baby son, Rylan. This on my chest was a cover-up from where something went really wrong one day, having a tattoo. And this is from when I used to box. That's where that comes from.
There you go.
There you go. Stories for all of them.
Well, I have serious commitment problems. Like I there's nothing that I want permanently etched on my body. Like I change.
Are you going to divorce your children?
I don't care what their names are. It's immaterial. That's just a label. Like, look, I love you, but I don't need you imprinted on my body. Like, it's already permanent enough that I have to take care of you. I don't need, when I'm pissed off at you for not doing your homework, I don't need to see your name on my arm.
Shoot. Terrible man. Horrible man.
I know a lot of people did that, though. Like, my brother-in-law has his kids, tattooed and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Reasons for mine as well. Oh, I don't care about saying it because it's common knowledge, but got to remember I had one of those mothers who used a child as a weapon, so I didn't get to see him a whole lot, so they were on me as a part of a dedication to them. There you go.
You know what's funny? So I took my kids yesterday. We went to go see Beetlejuice. I've never seen it.
You what?
My parents were, and it was funny because my mom's boyfriend, she streams, he watches my show all the time. Like, he's kind and he like turns it on and just listens to it in the background. My parents were like ultra crazy, conservative, religious. Everything was the occult, and like Beetlejuice was evil. It was like I could not watch this as a child. So my parents would not let me watch it. I couldn't watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because it had fighting. My grandfather gave me the Zelda game from the Nintendo. She threw it away while I was at church one night because it was evil and had demonic magic in it. I was not allowed to watch Beetlejuice. Like, my younger siblings were not even allowed to watch Harry Potter when it came out because it had all this, evil magic and witchcraft in it. So I told my mom, "Look, Mom, I'm taking the kids to go see it. It's a movie. Get over it." So I talked to my mom last night on the way home, and I was like, "We went to the movies tonight." She said, "What did you go see?" I said, "We went to go see Beetlejuice." And she said, "Oh, that's a good one. Your younger brother likes that." I'm like, "Yeah, funny. I never saw it." She's like, "What, you never seen it?" I said, "No, because somebody's crazy over-controlling parents wouldn't let them watch as a child." "Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah. Oh, well."
Yeah, but you've waited till you're in your mid-30s before. Are you telling me you've only just moved out of the house? Is that what it is?
I just never thought to watch it. There's a lot of stuff that I've never watched. Like, I was only allowed to listen to Christian music until I was 16.
Let me tell you, if I was in Texas right now, I would open hand smack you in the face. All right, it's just the way it is. I've just knock some sense into you, man.
There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen, dude. There's a lot of stuff I haven't seen.
Oh, wait till you come out with me. You're going to be like, "Oh my God." I'm telling you. But yeah, lift that rock up and you're going to go crawling out.
I got in trouble once because I had this little 4-inch black and white TV when I was 6 or 7 years old. And there used to be a Beetlejuice cartoon. And I, it's snuck off in the other room and I was watching Beetlejuice, with the cover over my head on this little 4-inch TV, the cartoon, and my dad came there. I got grounded for that. I got grounded because I was playing Castlevania 3 when I was a kid, and it had Dracula in it, and my dad found out. So I got grounded from playing the Nintendo.
That's kind of rough. That's very rough.
Yeah.
Then the flip side to that, though, was you was allowed to watch Rambo, just like me.
I was. My dad was. That's what the irony of it. My dad would sit down with me and watch. Yeah, Rocky, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Watching that, I was 4 or 5 years old. My mom's like, "Oh, kids can't watch that. He's too young." He's like, "It's just an action movie."
You can't watch Beetlejuice. But here, son, get a load of Rambo and his explosive arrows.
Yeah. Yeah, and my dad loved Rambo. Predator, I got to watch Predator. I mean, there's all these videos I got to watch. They were okay with action movies and realistic military stuff because my dad was in the military, so they didn't care about that. But by gosh, son, don't you watch Beetlejuice? So
that's crazy.
It was bad. Crazy. Yeah. I was going to say something else. I'm trying to remember what it was.
Sorry. It was off on a whole different tangent.
I was going to say something. I can't remember for the life of me what it was. What were we talking about?
You know what, Harmless Carl? This is going to upset you, Harmless Carl, but Bruce Lee movies are the most overrated movies in the world. The only good Bruce Lee movies are the ones where somebody else is playing him and it's like a documentary on his life, like The Dragon, or what it was called, Way of the Dragon in the 90s. That was good.
Oh, here. So I was 5 years old and my parents let me watch Jaws. But by gosh, boy, don't you watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. My parents wouldn't let us watch the Rugrats because they were irreverent, disrespectful kids. I'm not making this stuff up. So I was 5 years old, and this is fitting now because Halloween's coming up. So I was not allowed to trick or treat because it was an evil holiday. We would hand out candy to other children, but I was not allowed to trick or treat. So I would just sit there and just eat candy out of the bowl. My mom would buy us our own candy. So I'm sitting there. Of course, they let me wear a Superman costume. I can't go trick or treat, but let me put the costume on and eat candy at home to make me feel like I'm part of society. So I'm sitting in here waiting for the doorbell. I'm watching Jaws.
Thank you, Georgia.
I'm watching Jaws, and my mom calls me from the other room. And one of the lines from Jaws is he says, "Come and get me, you gruesome son of a bee."
That's funny.
My mom yells from me in the other room, and I don't curse. And I'm 5 years old. My mom yells from me, and I just yell back at her from across the house, "Come and get me, you gruesome son of a bee." And my dad came unglued. He came in there, and I was about to die. My life was about to end. And he says, "Where in the world did you hear?" I was "On Jaws. They just said it. You just said it to the shark." So then they're "Okay, don't ever use that word again."
when I was about 4, I was allowed to watch Alien, the very first Alien. I think it had just come out.
Yeah, it's such a good movie. That's one of my all-time favorites.
It scarred me for life when it comes to horror movies, let me tell you. Because I'll never forget, I could have only been 3 or 4, and I was playing with, they used to have these toys, and it was like a plastic boot, but it was a house, and it had a straw hat on it, and you'd lift up, and you'd have these little... Anyway, I'm sat there playing with that, and I'm watching Alien. My mum's brother's there, and his friends are there, and when they're in the canteen, and the chest bursts open, and the alien jumps out, scar me. I can even remember it right now, like it was yesterday.
I didn't want to eat chicken spaghetti until I was like 30 after that.
I was sat over the toilet with my little old woman who lives in a shoe toy for about 3 hours, dry vomiting and scared to death. It was like, no. And so I have this thing about Alien. I don't know what I can watch. All kinds. I can watch Rambo pull somebody's collarbone out and break it. I can watch him rip people's throats out. But you get a chest burster and it starts.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm done. Shut up, Dom. All right, shut up. All right, Adam part 2.
So my grandma let us watch anything we wanted. There's this other like undersea. It tries to be like Aliens. It's called Deep Star 6. You ever seen that one?
Yeah.
I was trying to tell my mom what we had watched. And when I went to my grandma, she let me watch anything. I was like 6, and we would watch The Fly. We would rent The Terminator, like all these different things. And are you frozen? My video's frozen.
I look all right on my end.
Well, you can hear me.
Yep.
Maybe it'll fix itself here in a minute.
You're not frozen on my side.
It's just my computer. My computer's frozen. So,
junk.
Yeah. So I'll just talk. Maybe it'll fix itself in a second. So we watched this science fiction show, Deep Star 6, and I come back and I'm like 5 or 6 years old. Come back from my grandma's house to my house, and my parents are like, "So what'd y'all do?" Like, "Oh, we rented some movies." Like, "Oh, what'd you watch?" Because they would always ask me because they know grandma let me watch stuff we weren't supposed to. And I told her we watched Deep Star 6, and they're like,
So Adam's left the building. It looks like you're left with just me to carry the cam while Adam figures out what's wrong with his junk computer that he bought from wish.com. As you can tell, Adam likes the sound of his own voice and never shuts up. He just keeps going and going, telling you the same story on and on for about 12 minutes when it could have been spoken in about 3 minutes at very most. But no, we all know what Adam's like, and he likes the sound of his own voice. He has nothing but complete hot air garbage to talk about. But let's wait and see until he comes back. And then he'll blame it on me, more than likely, because I'm the foreigner in here. Yeah. See?
So apparently my computer had a fatal error.
I didn't talk. As soon as you left, you need to go back and watch that. As soon as you left, I didn't stop talking. I felt like you for a minute.
Oh, I'll be really proud of you then. All right, so I was sitting here, and then I could hear you talking, and you could still hear me. And I thought, okay, maybe it'll pull itself out of this dive. And then my screen just went all these different colors, and I had to re-log in. I'm like, oh, well, shoot, this is bad. But yeah,
don't worry, I covered for you just fine. It was like instantaneous. Bang,
anyway,
done.
So I went to my grandma's. I come back, and I tell my parents that I watched this movie called Deep Star 6, and I'm like 5, 6 years old. So they get my grandma on the phone, and they're like, "What kind of pornography you letting our kid watch while he's over there?" I'm like, "No, it's aliens. It's about underwater aliens." Anyway, it boiled down to language barrier. Yeah, just I misunderstood what it was, I guess. But either way, funny one.
I'm hoping to get the LG wing. Has Sam? Yes, hopefully we are both hoping.
Be. That one is it's not available widespread yet. So once that one, they get ready to put it out for sale. It's available, and they get it for people. I'm sure we'll both probably get one. Carl, why are you here? Where's my $10,000?
Joe, that's funny. Joe, that's funny. Did you notice I stopped as soon as he came back as well, Joe? As soon as I saw that screen flick, I stopped instantly. Mm-hmm.
What did you do?
You go back and watch it. Just get to about the 60th minute, and you'll see. You'll be proud.
I'm sure I will be.
Talking to Pixel 5. So Pixel 5, I think it's common knowledge that I think everyone was talking about it today. We had to sign NDAs today about the Pixel 5. Can't really go into anything in depth until after the 14th, 16th.
Yeah,
but they're out in stores right now, and you can go and look at the green or the black one in Best Buy.
Oh, you can? I didn't know that.
Yes, they put them out today.
Yeah, so it's not as bad as Microsoft. It's not like here's our phone, but you can't turn it on and you can't show people stuff. Like
there's no super chat, Carl, because this is a new channel and it needs to get the subs up. There's only 49 subs. That's the only reason why.
Everybody who's watching the show, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And everybody tell 3 friends. As soon as we get to 100 subscribers, we can get our custom URL so we can have Unhinged Tech, youtube.com/Unhinged Tech. And then once we get to 1,000 subscribers and a certain amount of view hours, then we can be monetized, so we can get our pennies and stuff. I mean, I'm not really worried about it. I don't think there's really anybody out there who has live streams that's making a ton of money from it. It's not a money-making venture. But it will be nice to get the custom URL. So, yeah, tell your 12 followers, Joe. Go out there, spread the word.
Yeah.
Unhinged Tech.
And let them know it doesn't take 3 years.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so with the Pixel One, we can show certain things. And I will whenever I'm here.
You can show the screen on.
Yeah, you can show the screen on. You can be like,
here. Tell you? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what we're allowed to do. Hold on. One moment, please.
Are we supposed to tell them that?
I don't care.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean, it's only being transparent, right?
Ryan, go tell your 2 friends. Well, I mean, Dan and I are here, so I guess there's nobody to tell.
Yeah, we already told each other. So
yeah. Hey, Dan, did you know we have a new channel?
Nope, but I'm glad you reminded me or told me anyway.
Make sure you subscribe. Yeah, I was going to the list of subscribers earlier, and I saw that you were subscribed. I'm like, just subscribe to our own channel.
You may not post images or video of you using any new software features until the embargo lifts at 10:14, 8 a.m. Pacific. You may show the home screen of the phones, and you may post images, video of the hardware of the device. There you go.
Yeah. So basically the normal basic functions in the primary camera. But, I mean,
yes.
I'm really careful with that stuff anyway. I mean, I know it's good for marketing because, of course, yes, it's not out. It gets it out in people's hands. They can kind of see some of the cool stuff. People can ask questions. I think this is good in some ways because it gets it in the hands of people like me and you. So our subscribers who value our opinion or want to know more about it can have a really well-informed decision before they go buy it.
Joe, that's really good, what you've just put there. But tell me, my segment of about 45 seconds then was better than anything this guy has come up with yet.
It's probably the longest.
You gotta admit it. You got to admit it. Yeah, and it was probably the best content we've ever had on here.
Probably.
Oh, yeah.
iPhone's still 100 times more popular. Well,
no, it isn't.
Don't they only have like 24.99% worldwide market share?
Yes. Android is far more popular as a system.
Bingo.
See, Joe agrees. And Joe never agrees with me, so you know it must have been true. Look at Dom. You know what else will start bleeding if I ever meet you? All right? Yeah, that's right. Britain versus Puerto Rico. England versus Puerto Rico.
Like a Timmy and Jimmy fight.
Contest with you. What?
Like a Timmy and Jimmy fight.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Have you seen South Park?
Yes. Adam, I didn't have a life like you. Of course, I've seen South Park.
I wasn't allowed to watch it. I didn't watch South Park till I was like 28 years old, and then I binged 13 seasons in like 2 months.
You know what? I'm not going to say what I was just about to say.
Okay. Jimmy. I love South Park. Anyway, man, it's already been 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Yes. Yes, it's gone very fast. And we've spoke about very little tech.
I know. I was like, this is like untech tonight.
It's like, it's like unhinged. And that's it. Just leave it at that. Yeah. It's just unhinged tonight.
No, I mean, we gave away a phone.
Yes.
We talked about the Pixels.
Yes.
A little bit. We talked about the iPhones a little bit. We talked about the disappointment for when people are not going to be able to get them.
Yes. That joke's old, Ryan.
I mean, that's like 10 minutes worth of bases, so we can talk about my,
That joke's gone, Ryan. Gone. That joke is gone. The old Kroger chicken joke is out of here. Out of here. It's gone.
This is pretty accurate right here.
What? Yeah. See? Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, Dan is the most patient, best nodder in all of the tech community.
I know what I got myself into, so I'm okay.
Here, this will be here. Let's talk about the Fold 2 cases. Oh wait, there aren't any. All right, end story.
Okay, so I'm going to do an update. I'm going to do an update video on this. All right.
How do you like it?
Today, I pulled it out of my pocket today, and the front screen was hanging off this thing here. This is meant to be stuck on, and it was like this. See that?
That looks like something Carl would make.
Yeah, that's right. This is a case by Armadillo Tech. Just don't bother, all right? No, just kidding.
Armadillos suck.
Armadillo Tech cases don't suck. Before Carl cries and sets fire to my house and whatever else. So
Carl needs to make me some dumplings. If Carl made cases of dumplings,
them dumplings.
Oh, I love.
You bet. I love dumplings. Steamed dumplings. I don't like the fried ones are all right, but I prefer the steamed dumplings. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you better get
shipping
shipping some out, Carl.
As soon as the UAG case comes out, I'll probably get a hold of it. They seem to like working with me, so I'll probably get one of those when it comes out. They did give me the one for the Z Flip, and I actually have a video coming out for like my top 3 cases for the Z Flip 5G, which is UAG civilian. Huh?
Nobody cares.
I don't care. It's my show. I have a video about Z Flip cases coming out. And the UAG
civilian. No one cares about Z Flip cases. You can buy Z Flip cases. It's Z Fold cases people care about.
Yeah, they do care about that. I care about
them.
I care about it deeply. I bought some leather. I bought some Chinese leather one off of Amazon that who knows.
Hang on a minute. The worst headphone company in the world is in the chat. If you've never heard of Period Audio, it's a guy who's on the rag all the time and sells earbuds.
Period Audio.
That's the way it is. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I will say, though, I am one day going to review his earbuds. I feel so bad. He sent them out to me for a while ago.
Bose isn't here.
He sent me out one, and I was ready to get my review done on that. And then I was like, hey, I've got these nice ones. Can you tell me a little bit about the other ones? It's like the titanium, the beryllium, the carbon or whatever. So I asked him, and I was like, hey, what about these other
ain't
two?
You, Dan.
And he was telling me, he's like, well, there's a lot of differences between the materials and the drivers, and you'll be able to hear the differences. And I was like, oh, cool. And he's like, well, here, I'll go ahead and send you these out. So I was ready to review the ones, and then I got the other 2 out. And then I've got like 15 phones that have come out in the last like 6 weeks. So they keep sitting there, and I keep telling him, I promise I'm going to review these earbuds.
He's such a loser. He's had them longer than me, and I already have my review out. It may only have 85 views, but at least I did the review. Okay,
I haven't had them.
You
want to talk about the hub?
All right.
You want to talk about the hub?
Don't care about the hub. The hub guy isn't here right now, is he? Is he in here right now? No. Periodic Audio are in here right now.
You're like, you know what? Dan's had this for 2 months.
3 months, and you've still not done the video for him.
I haven't had him 3 months.
All right, you've had him 2 months, 3 weeks, and you've still not done the video for him.
I think it's 2 months and 1 week.
Either way. I mean, really?
Maybe it's really? 3 weeks. I've told him, I said, I promise I'm going to get to it very soon. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
By next week.
Yeah. Okay.
By next week. I think.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, I got to get it out quick because the iPhone's coming. So,
see, there'll be something, and then something else. Oh, and people with Fold, just so you know, I mentioned it to Adam at the beginning of the show. You can't really see it; doesn't pick up on the camera on mine. But in this corner, they're replacing my phone because the screen is coming away from underneath the plastic.
Hopefully, they get it to you faster than. Hopefully, they get it to you faster than Max Weinbach's been able to get his repaired.
Well, T-Mobile are doing mine. They're just sending me a new one. They're sending it to the store. That way I just walk in with my old one to the store and just bang, done. So I'll have it in 2 days. The Zac stylus is fantastic, Sam. It's as good as the Apple Pencil. In fact, it's better than the Apple Pencil because it works on everything instead of version 1 and version 2, 2 different things. So, yeah, it's very, very, very good.
And that really pisses me off that Apple does that. It's like you have the Gen 1 only work on certain ones and the Gen 2 only work on certain ones?
Yeah. So Gen 2 only works on the iPad Pros. Gen 1 only works on the 6th, 7th, and probably the 8th gen.
The Gen 2 will work on the Air 2, on it, the new Air?
I have no idea. I presume so, but I don't know because I'm presuming that's Gen 1. The reason I think they're different is the iPad Pros are 120 hertz, and that's why I think there's a Gen 2.
I mean, that makes sense.
20 hertz screen. So I'm presuming it'll be Gen 1 because it's still 60 hertz. So,
or at least find a way to make it compatible with it.
I don't think they will. They'll just say buy the $99 Gen 1, which, is for what people use them for. It's not going to. My stylus is for LumaFusion only. It's so much easier with a pencil.
My son has a 6th generation iPad, and he just kept begging me. I finally got him an Apple Pencil for that, so now he's got that. But I don't really use styluses that much. I use the one that comes with my Tab S7 Plus just because it's there. So I've been using it when I've been making thumbnails with Canva here lately, which is nice, but I don't know.
It may do. Gen 2 may work on the new Air. I was just guessing because why is there a Gen 2? The only thing I can think of is the 120 hertz, but, maybe it does. Let me just say, the Zag one looks better because it's space gray. I think it looks far better than just this white odd pencil sticking out.
My thoughts are just call it the Pro. Have a Pro one that goes with the Pro tablets. Like, why you got to call it Generation 2? A Generation 2 seems like an improvement that will work on all of them. You
know what I think? Just make an Apple Pencil that works with them all. If somebody else can, so can you.
Bingo.
So,
so David had a question here about new icons. Look, I don't like when they change icons because it confuses me. Like, even though I have them in the same place, it's like, just leave well enough alone. Why do you have to change the icon? Everybody knows.
Slowly getting used to them, slowly, but I have to go and look. Whereas before, I could just glance and know what I was hitting. Now I have to make sure I'm hitting what I am because they're all so similar now. It's like,
you're gonna have to elaborate on this more. I'm assuming this is what we talked about before with your VA stuff. So you'll have to message me after this. But if so, that's great. And
yes,
but
I bought an S20. Yeah, see, Happy Chef there. I can't remember your real name. He follows me on Twitter. He's a cool guy. But a lot of these knockoff pencils do work for what people do because a lot of people who have them aren't professionals. They're not going to do shading and this, that, and the other. They're just jotting down, taking notes, and using it as a mouse, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, I guess we gotta go ahead and call tonight. It's already almost 20 after.
New iPad Air, Rob. I'm an Android guy, but the iPad Pro.
Oh, my comments froze. I can't see down there.
The iPad Pro is far better than the Tab S7. You may have just seen me going back and forth on Twitter with somebody who tried to tell me that the Tab S7 Plus is built better than the iPad Pro, so the iPad Pro will bend easier. How they come across with that one when the Tab S7 is a foot long, like literally wide, it's no. So,
the aspect ratio is terrible. I do not like the aspect ratio.
It's unwieldy. It really is. It's very hard to use. It's not.
Like I like to lay down.
It's not user friendly,
and the sucker's like a freaking towering AMOLED display. And you know what?
Yeah.
I made a video saying that the Tab S7 Plus had a big problem. Big, of course, in quotations, and everybody was like, okay, whatever, having a fit over me saying that the tablet is too big for normal tablet functions. I'm sorry. The aspect ratio and the sucker's like this tall. You cannot use it properly to do a lot of typing, to play some games, especially handheld stuff. It is just too large, and because of the aspect ratio, it's like this tall. And then everyone's like, oh, what about the 12.9-inch iPad? I'm like, okay, this is not a video about the 12.9-inch iPad.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to buy a 12.9-inch iPad. I know that's too big. I had the 10.4-inch S6, and I thought that, this wouldn't be that much bigger because sometimes you go from one phone to another. Yes, like let's talk about this. This has dual 5.6-inch screens, but the size doesn't tell you everything because it has tremendous bezels on it. So not everything is what the size is. I mean, we used to have 6.1-inch screen phones that were like this big, and now they're like this big. So also depending on how they measure with the aspect ratio. So I figured it wouldn't be that much larger than the Tab S6, but the sucker is freaking gigantic.
It's massive. And compared to the iPad Pro, all right, the iPad Pro is taller, but it's much easier to use because it's narrower. It's not got that. The Tab S7 is literally, you stand it vertically, it's easily a foot long. Like, it's like a Subway sandwich. It's just odd. It's just very weird to use.
It's great for productivity. It's great for drawing. It's great for multimedia. It's great to plug a controller in and play Xbox Game Pass games. It's good for a lot of stuff. For normal tablet functions, it is not.
Yes. And the other problem with it is, and me and Adam will probably go back and forth on this all night, but at the end of the day, it's still an Android tablet. I sold my first one to somebody using here, actually, and after I'd sold it, I thought, I've made a mistake. Let's give it another chance, another try. And outside of Samsung's own apps and decks,
apps don't work good for it. They don't have the same level of support.
It's just an Android tablet. It's just an Android phone that's stretching everything out. So, as for the Razer 5G, probably not.
They're not optimized like they are for iPad OS.
Yeah, nothing like.
So. Everything is optimized. So that is one big problem with it. And yeah, I like the tablet. And one other thing is like you said, the iPad is much better for editing. However, I don't give that so much of a distinction when it comes to hardware. That's purely software to me. Like if they put LumaFusion or they put I mean, you can use Adobe Air, I guess, but I don't really like Adobe Air that much. But like the best
Adobe Rush.
Yeah, Adobe Rush. The best editor Android has is Power Director, which is so it's just if you had a better editor, then it would probably be better for some of that stuff, but I don't know. I like it just fine. And no, I'm likely not going to be reviewing the Razer 5G just because I'm not going to go buy one. I would mind
if T-Mobile will loan me one, maybe, if we can get Des to loan us one, maybe. You never know.
Maybe that might be a question worth asking somebody, but I'm not going to go buy one as much as it does interest me. I mean, I'm not using my Z Flip right now. I just got too many phones to use. I'm fixing to get 2 iPhones. I'm fixing to get the Pixel 5. I mean, I got like 4 other phones coming in the pipeline. I just don't have time for it, and I'm not going to go spend $1,500 on it. But
I'll only have one iPhone because it'll be the wife's, and I won't be getting one this year. I say that every time a new phone comes out, I won't be getting it, and I end up getting it. But I can guarantee you, I'll end up with one.
So I'm going to buy the Mini for me. Like, I want to try out the Mini. I'm going to get, like, Sarah, she likes the big, gigantic Pro Max phone. And
that's what I'll have to do.
She really likes the new one. Like, she saw it, and she's like, wow, it looks so nice. It looks like the iPad Pro. It's flat. It looks really nice. She likes the colors. So
but still a notch. Oh, God, they're stupid. Can they not get rid of this? And even next year, they're saying the notch is still going to be there.
And it's still gigantic.
They're just stupid.
Yeah, so I'm going to get the Mini for me, and then I'm going to get her. I'm still going to test it out. I mean, I'm buying both of them, so I'll test them both out, but I will not be carrying the Pro Max.
Yeah, I will. I can guarantee you right now that I will own an iPhone 12 Pro Max, and right up until the day I order it, I'm going to tell you that I will not be getting one. So at least I've sort of admitted it.
But he will.
I will. I know I will. I will. I'm paying this off tomorrow.
Oh, nice. I only owe like $1,800 on my MacBook Pro now.
I owe $1,200 on this.
I paid like $600 off on this sucker in the last 3 months, which, I mean, I could have paid it off a long time ago, but I'm kind of saving money because, the way the world is right now, I like to keep plenty of money in my savings account.
Well, you know what I'm going through. So in a couple of months, I'll be able to be like, well, we can take half our wages and just put it in there. And
yes. And then, I spent like $750 for the stupid down payment thing on this with T-Mobile. But
I really wish I'd got a black version of this now.
I'm using the crap out of it, though. I'm using this thing like a ton. Like, I'm not even using my other phones. And it's very frustrating because I'm like, I have other phones I need to use.
And the reason I'm paying this off tomorrow is I want to buy a black one. But I think I might buy a custom hinge version.
I want one of those. So, Dave, the battery life is fine. It still has 18-hour all-day battery. The thing is there's new implementations on here, faster processor. It actually does have a slightly larger battery than the previous models. But because of all the things that it's running all the time, like the sleep tracker, and you've got the oxygen sensor, you've got all this stuff on it, it powers so much. You still basically need to charge it every day, which is frustrating because the first day I can sleep with it that night, but you have to find some time the next day to charge it again so you can wear it again that night. So you still can't go 2 days without having to put it on a charger, but they did increase the charging speed, 1.5 hours instead of like 2.5 hours now to recharge it. So there have been improvements, but still only 18 hours. But anyway, let's go ahead and hop off here. I think half the people left because we said we're leaving like 3 times already.
Yes.
But
yes.
More than likely, unless something substantially changes, I'll be doing my Friday night block party on Friday. Of course, Dan's always welcome to show up. I'm sure if he's available, he'll be here.
Dan will be here. Dan will be here because let me just tell you this, right? It's very rare I'm not there. I was sick the other week, and I still dragged my ass out because I turned on YouTube and saw him on his own and felt bad. Do you think he'd do that for me? No.
Well, I'd be
he wouldn't. No. He'd leave me in the dumpster fire I was sat in and then laugh at me later on for doing it.
Who was up till like 3 o'clock in the morning last week making the banner so we could put the channel?
Nice. I get on and I ruin my Friday night. My Friday night just gets ruined to save his ass. That's just the way it is.
Just so you know, his Friday night before I did a live stream was playing Call of Duty with me.
Call of Duty. That's why I said you ruined my Friday night.
So now we just talk on here for an hour, and then we go play Call of Duty. So, I mean, not much has changed other than just an hour delay in the Call of Duty. Are we playing tonight?
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Now.
All right, well,
now.
Goodbye, people.
Later, bye.
Thanks for showing up. It's always a good time. And, yeah, Friday night will be the Friday night block party at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then we'll always be here on our new home, the Unhinged Tech channel, for next Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Stay classy, have a good one, stay safe, and we'll see you all later.